John and Rachel from YaJagoff, and we are tailgating. Who would have ever known that we would be tailgating Pittsburghers going to the moon?
I don't think they even know. We're in front of Astrobotic over on the north side.
Right.
And we snuck in, we got a little pin and said, we're here. And then we grabbed somebody to talk to for our tailgate because we got a 2009 RAV4.
2019.
Oh, 2019. I thought you said 2019. I was like, wow, this is in really good shape. So look at that. So 2019, it's an XLE. We talk about how we don't really know what the letters are, except that there's a ton of room, all the bells and whistles that are needed for a used car, because we know that sometimes it's a little bit of a pain to get the new cars in.
Right.
So we're taking the pain out of it.
If there's no waiting, and when it's a certified used vehicle from Rohrich, you get the Rohrich advantage. In the meantime, speaking of XLE and other kind of letters, who do we go right to?
I don't know. What letters are you giving Ryan O'Shea? What are you
Ryan O'Shea, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Happy to be here. Happy to be here in the tailgating
outside
Astrobotic.
Yeah, right. We literally pulled you out of a major conference and said, come tailgate, and you did it. So kudos to you.
I was looking at a space lander, and you were like, you want to come hang out by this car in the parking lot?
Check out
and
our
I was like,
XLE
sure,
RAV4.
Yeah.
Can you give us a briefing on what the amazingness that just went on in there?
So this was the first unveiling of the Peregrine Lunar Lander. Pittsburgh is going to the moon, and we're going to the moon with that craft in that building right there.
It's crazy.
Isn't that insane? And on top of that, Ryan, isn't mission control for this mission when it drives around on the moon? It's going to be somebody sitting here on the north side.
Exactly. This building right here is going to be beaming signals to the moon, controlling a lander up there, which is just insane. I mean, you think about mission control, and you think of all those people in front of computers. It's going to be happening right here in Pittsburgh.
And that's exactly, not to kind of Yinzerize it, but as we're standing here listening to these, pristine, esteemed speakers talk about what they know, they're like right here from the north side. Like you would, we're so well known with our techie stuff, we're getting so well known in the healthcare industry and all these things, but to actually think that it's right here, you could go get Gus and Yaya's and then come know that happened.
Isn't that the case? Are they sending Gus and Yaya's up on the Wind Rover? Is that
I cannot confirm that.
Maybe Gus is going. Wouldn't that be the best?
Gus is going. God love
Gus, because when you go over to Gus and Yaya's, it is a bubble of peace over there, right on the north side. So sending Gus up to the moon to sell snow cones, I think would be the awesome thing, because he would just make friends with every alien he could ever find.
I agree.
Right.
What is the most appealing part for you, Ryan? Because I know we just talked to Colin from the Incline. He's leaving from being inside here. What is it about this that makes you just go, oh my God, I need to be there?
Well, look at the people that were here today speaking.
Yes.
We had former senators, congressmen, we had astronauts, we have people who are leading initiatives from around the country involving space. NASA is here today. We brought them to Pittsburgh. And it's not just here in Astrobotic. Right down the street at the Carnegie Science Center is the Keystone Space Collaborative Conference. That's going on now. That's a 2-day event bringing together commercial space people from all around the country that are interested in what's going on here in Pittsburgh. And this is the first one, but it's going to continue happening.
Now, this is somewhat cool information that Pittsburghers are going to the moon and it's going here. But, we brought a car that has initials XLE on it. So that's kind of how we fit in. We said when we go to Toyota, make sure you give us a car that has lots of initials so we fit in. But on top of that, Ryan, because of you and thankful to you,
this is
the YaJagoff Podcast is going to the moon. Explain what we did there.
Exciting.
Well, first of all, this is going on the Peregrine Lander, but now we have all these numbers and stuff. I feel like it needs to be the Peregrine XLE 2000.
2022.
Astrobotic needs to step up their game. But anyway, I run the FutureGrind podcast, which is all about telling the story of the future and how that's going to change human society. And I'm very interested in spaceflight, obviously. So one of the things that I did was I partnered with Astrobotic to send digital files of the audience of FutureGrind to the moon. So people are sending their writings, their artwork, their family histories, their biographies up to the moon to be there forever.
So amazing.
And of course, I had to send an episode of the YaJagoff Podcast. I was so excited to do that. So YaJagoff is going to the moon.
Oh my God.
Right.
Thanks for feeding his ego.
Yeah, that is so cool. So when we get up there, we're going to be YaJagoff, right? When we're talking to the aliens. I just see it.
I will not talk
Ryan,
like that.
This is a tailgate. So let us ask you a question. When you're tailgating on the moon on your first trip up there, what will you be drinking or eating?
Oh, I don't know. That's a really good question.
Oh, it's not.
Of course it's a good
It's a common
question.
question,
It's an
right? Don't give
XLE
them
level
credit for that.
question.
I gotta
Ryan.
get some tacos to the moon, right? You gotta take tacos. Moon
Yes.
tacos, yeah.
And
Moon
Missy
tacos.
Yayas. I mean, come on.
That's
Yeah.
a good one too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
gotta throw that in there. All right, you guys have an amazing weekend. Follow the Future Grind podcast. Where's everybody follow you?
Go to any of the podcast apps, Spotify, iTunes, all of that has the FutureGrind podcast.
And cue the confetti and thank Ryan because our podcast
Ready?
is going there. You bleep bleep.